This video essay will explore the creative and technical influences that shaped my creative vision as the director on Party Hard, Die Tryin'. A short dark comedy based on a script written by Daisy Jesson, Party Hard, Die Tryin' follows 3 university students willing to sacrifice anything in order to not give up student life, making a deal with the demon to keep the party going. As director, I took strong creative leadership, editing our script to best enhance our favourite narrative features. Although the project is cross-genre, we decided to lean into the narrative's darker tones, which would then better contrast the script's humorous elements. I personally believe this direction would also give us the opportunity to include more stylistic cinematography that would separate our project from tropes associated with student shorts. Assistant director Danny Rolfe worked on the script too, focusing primarily on the script's humour, influenced by meta-humour seen in films like This Is the End, encouraging relatability and active participation from spectators.
I'm lucky. Super. It's the same thing a lot though. It's like my TV wife opens the fridge and it's like, what happened to the birthday cake? And I come out with like a little frosting. Like, what birthday cake?
Hey, because you ate the cake.
With our combined input, I believe we enhanced the script, effectively balancing moments of suspense, horror and humour. I personally worked to homogenise every aspect of continuity in an attempt to create a project that's worth rewatching. Going off of the limited script, I created in-depth character profiles, including personality traits and backstories that will give further insight into the events of the script if we would ever chose to elaborate the story further. As the only female and person of colour on my team, I advocated for BAME casting while also providing examples in meetings of the ways in which diversity can be used effectively towards the narrative. The following scenes were used when I created our production paperwork, including the shot list and storyboard. The beginning of the film contains minimal dialogue or exposition, which I wanted to exploit using classical horror tropes, building suspense which would then be subverted with the comedic introduction of the plot. For the introduction of Polly, I wanted to recreate the cinematography depicted in this scene of Breaking Bad, Season 2, Episode 11. Jesse floats upwards off the bed, representing his physical high from being on drugs. Although we wouldn't have access to a harness or the budget available on that set, I wanted to show Polly falling down to her bed as she slowly comes down from her high, cluing audiences into her mental state before it's revealed through her first interaction. When we meet Maisie and realise Polly's high, the tone shifts to that of a comedy. Inspired by Peep Show, I wanted to focus on reaction shots when the main cast interacted to highlight the levity and absurdity of their conversations. I wanted to exploit the setting of the party, leaning into the hyperstimulus aspects with claustrophobic and overwhelming neon cinematography to create subconscious unease and suspense within spectators before the party's sinister intent has even been revealed. The introduction of a severely inebriated Lucas was supposed to further reinforce the comedic tone, while also establishing Maisie as the group's leader, the person most dedicated to the plan. As soon as the group's demonic intentions become clear, we continued to use the simplicity of reaction shots throughout their interactions, despite the tone and other thematic elements shifting to a horror perspective. Furthermore, the work of acclaimed editor Joy McMillian on Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk demonstrated the understated ways in which prolonged POV reaction shots can immerse spectators, not just into the narrative, but into the emotions evoked by our actors. I wanted the character design and cinematography associated with the demon Asmodeus to contrast the levity and preconceived notions that our earlier scenes had demonstrated, creating uncertainty and suspense within audiences. I was heavily inspired by the multiple supernatural characters played by contortionist actor Douglas Jones, but particularly that of the eyeless pale man character he portrayed in Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth. Something about the lack of eyes immediately conveys the gruesome otherworldly presence we wanted for the character, only to then be subverted by the nonchalant attitude of an immortal that doesn't immediately appear to be taking things seriously. By the film's conclusion, the comedic irony of Lucas and Polly sacrificing Maisie, who organised the whole event, combined with Asmodeus' lax attitude, is supposed to undermine the horrific narrative and visual aspects of the climax, surprising audiences with Maisie's vivid descent to hell. I proposed an ending, referential of classic campy horror of the 50s and 60s B-movies, with a title card reading "The End?", combined with stereotypical creepy music to fade out to. Additionally, I had a conversation with editor Robbie Pusey, in which I suggested that the ending could pan out of the house, revealing hellish imagery or a black void surrounding them. This was in an effort to provide some form of continuity that is also open to interpretation. My thought process was the idea to show the unintended price Polly and Lucas paid for the eternal party. Although Asmodeus had comedic attitude, they were still an immortal demon who played all of the main characters, tricking them into a deal with hidden consequences. While the escalation of COVID-19 created a breakdown within the production team and the planned shoot, I believe that I put in lots of consideration to the creative and technical influences on this project, which I believe would be a successful production if we ever had the opportunity.
Stop! You've hit gold. Save some for the screen.
All right, people, scene 6.